It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
Bobby, who do you think is more likely to come back next season for another season, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
I think they're both likely to come back. I think the question is who's likeliest to not come back? Like, of the two, which one do you think would retire? I do think they'll both be back. Don't you guys?
I don't know if Brady's going to be back. I'm not 100% convinced.
Okay, but I'm saying if 51 means you lean toward him coming back, I feel like they're all coming back. Like, they're all leans.
Yes.
If you had to bet yes or no,
Yes.
would you bet that Brady's coming back?
I would have to bet yes.
Would you bet that Rodgers is coming back?
100%. I bet the farm on that.
You would?
Yes.
So in your mind, then Rodgers is for sure and Brady is not as for sure.
Oh, yeah. I think Rodgers, what did he say recently in a podcast? Like he said, I can still win MVP. It's like, in his mind, dude, this guy's not retiring in the next 10 years.
But he said in the right situation. Whatever that means.
You can just tell he's ready to keep proving that he's the best. And he's not considered the best, but he wants to prove that he is the best.
He won the MVP last year, though, right?
Yeah, 2 years in a row. Last 2
So
out of 3
I do
years.
still think he is a top 5 quarterback and could be a top 3 if he's on a team that can help him a little bit. I think they both come back, but I think because Rodgers is so quirky, I think he may be like, yeah, I feel good, but I never felt better. I quit.
Oh, interesting.
I think Brady's back next year. I think Rodgers is back, but because he's such a wild card, I'm going to go with Rodgers would retire just because he wants people to be like, oh, he's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He lives by his own rules.
Well, I fall for that because I feel like he's like one of those crazy thinkers. Like, oh, I just think about things. I like to
Free spirit.
It's free spirit, right?
Yeah.
So in that nature, I feel like he could easily just be like, I just want to go live on the land.
Maybe he goes away for a year, or maybe he comes back halfway through a season. Maybe he comes back left-handed and wants to play slot. I don't know. He's just a weird dude.
He is.
And I do think Brady's coming back, so I'm going with Aaron Rodgers, most likely to not come back just simply because he likes to be known as quirky.
Why does Brady come back? Like, what's the main reason? He
Probably
can't quit.
to win one more and to separate himself even more. Like, leave and know, ain't nobody touching this. Not until they turn regular season like they did the Pro Bowl and it goes all flag. Ain't nobody going to touch this 8 Super Bowls.
Dang.
I think he'd like to win one more. I think it would be cool if he went to Miami because he wants to be a part owner of that team. You know, that discussion was happening. If he went there, I think it'd be cool if he played for San Francisco because that's his team.
Yeah.
He always wanted to play for. If San Francisco gets to the Super Bowl, I don't think he is an option in San Francisco. And I know Jimmy G went to a Super Bowl and they tried to get rid of him, but they did have Trey Lance ready to go and drafted really high. I don't think they make a move for another quarterback if Brock Purdy gets them to a Super Bowl. If they win a Super Bowl, no chance. It's Purdy. If they get to a Super Bowl, it's Purdy. But if they lose, even in the conference championship, I think there's a chance that Brady comes in for 1 year. And they say to Brock Purdy, hey, kid, you're 12. Just sit back.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Let
Thank
Papaw
you.
play quarterback for a year.
A couple years.
And that'll be yours.
There we go. Well, speaking of quarterbacks, who would you rather have heading into a playoff game as they face off on Sunday, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen?
Are we talking about all the same weapons or just straight quarterbacks? Everything's equal.
Straight quarterbacks, 1 game playoff.
Joe Burrow. If it's just quarterback and all the receivers are the same, all the lines the same, I'm taking Joe Burrow. Josh Allen's really good, but he has played so erratic and that's why they've lost a couple of those games that they've lost. They've only lost a couple games. They're both elite, so I'm not even saying that Josh Allen sucks and easily it's Burrow. I just think it's Burrow. Burrow doesn't make the out-of-nowhere mistakes that Josh Allen does. Burrow throws those anticipation passes like nobody I've ever seen before. You watch those clips sometimes where they're like, watch this, and it goes in slow motion. The receiver running his route, not even looking. As soon as he turns, boom, ball. Right there.
It's pretty amazing.
I also just never doubt that Burrow can lead a team back.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the furs he wears. All the
swag.
Just so much. He's convinced me. I'm going to go Burrow, but both are obviously elite and top quarterbacks. Joe Burrow. Eddie.
I think Burrow is definitely the smarter quarterback as far as, making decisions and, like you said, leading the team. But, man, I love Josh Allen. I like how physical he is. I like the different things. If he needs to run the ball,
You're right.
He'll get that first down.
You have to watch him as another runner. Like, he's another running back on the field, and that's really hard to shut down.
So I don't know how he's going to be in 2 years, but next year I want Josh Allen.
What do you think, Kevin?
It's so hard, but I can't help but say Joe Burrow for one game, just because I feel like he'll get you there without losing it. But so can Josh Allen. But I noticed Burrow.
Has
last
Josh Allen
week,
made a Super Bowl?
No.
No.
That's the
It's
thing.
not.
And I noticed last week that Burrow, he lost his offensive lineman again. And he was like, you know what? I think my defense will be able to handle the Ravens. I just got to do enough just to kind of get out of here with a win. And he even said that in the postgame where Josh Allen would have been like, oh, I got to do even more now. And then might have made a mistake.
2 balls at once.
Like Huntley. Exactly.
I got this.
So maybe it's just a trust thing, but I'd go with Burrow.
Hard to say because they're both great.
Of course.
Yeah.
And the Bills are so good. When they are good, they are great. But, okay, 2 Burrows, 1 Allen. Next.
Are you more confident in Dak or Daniel Jones to have another great game this weekend?
Dang.
It should be an easy answer. And just go Dak.
Yeah.
It should be an easy answer. Because until this season, Daniel Jones was just going to be probably a mid-level backup based on what he had done so far. So it should be an easy answer that it's Dak. But again, sometimes Dak goes full Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Dak goes full Dak when he's under pressure.
But now it's time for pressure. The games start with pressure before the first quarter even starts.
I told my wife, I'm like, look at the patience he has back there.
I hear ya.
Look at, like, this is the game changer when he has time and patience and he's not under pressure. He can do wonders. He throws the ball where it needs to go. But you know what? That's not always the situation.
It should be an easy answer. And it is. It's Dak. But another solid playoff game. They didn't even have to win. And I think Daniel Jones, takes another tiny step up in that ladder from the bottom of the B level to next to the bottom of the B level. Not a huge step, but still, and what a year this guy has had, showing he can do a bit of what Josh Allen does.
Not as gracefully, but yeah.
No, more gracefully, but not as physical.
Not as physical. That's what
I would say he's faster.
Yeah, probably.
I would think.
Was it this year when he lost his, when his head
like
went
2 years ago.
faster than his feet?
Snipered?
Is that where he
I don't
ran and he
know.
just fell?
Yeah, he got tripped. Yeah.
No one touched him. He just fell. His legs didn't move fast enough. I feel like that was the beginning of this year.
See, but that shows you how fast his head is.
He wants to go
Don't
fast.
discount how fast his head is. It's Dak. I think Dak's been through a lot of crap, and getting through crap also gets you ready for the next batch of crap too. I think the Cowboys can beat the 49ers this week.
Come on,
And I'm not
baby.
even saying that with bias. I am a little, but I do think they can win.
There was an interview where they asked Dak, what do you say to the people talking about, on sports shows or whatever, and about how, you're the 15 interceptions, you're not fit to do this job. He's like, oh, I don't listen to that. I don't look at the stories, read stories, listen to interviews. You think that's true? Does he not listen to that stuff?
He's probably pretty good about not purposefully searching it out. It's hard for it not to find you, especially if you live there, which he does. I don't often search out stuff about me. It's a different animal completely, but sometimes you get tagged and stuff.
Yeah.
Pisses you off. Sometimes someone will link you out thinking you will think it's funny, then you get to it and it kind of hurts your feelings. So I don't think you can stay from it 100%. But yeah, he probably has had to learn or he gets completely overwhelmed. So yeah, I believe him.
Okay.
But it finds you.
Yeah, somehow it
Some
does,
of it
right?
finds you.
Especially
Yeah.
in Dallas.
Yeah. What else?
It's Brian Daboll, your lock for Coach of the Year.
Let's think of who else it might be. You can go over to San Francisco. Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
I like him, especially he lost 2 quarterbacks this year.
Wild.
So we're just talking about who it could be. So Shanahan in San Francisco. You're not
Doug
gonna
Peterson?
you're not gonna go Andy Reid. Yeah, you're not gonna go Andy Reid because he is already known to be awesome, and it's against you when you've been awesome for a long time.
Right. Agreed.
Like he would need to do something he hadn't done before probably to win that. Not saying he doesn't deserve it, but when you're awesome for a long time, people don't want you to keep being awesome and keep handing you the awards because that gets boring.
Yeah. Need somebody new.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni, Eagles.
Oh, come on,
Yeah.
dude.
Peterson
He's
in
been amazing.
Jacksonville. I don't know if he's the lock, but I would bet on him. Did we see any odds on that?
I haven't seen any, but the way that it's talked about, I would imagine he's a clear favorite.
I
right
would
now.
think he'd be the one that's minus 210 or so, and the favorite. But I think he should probably win it. I mean, Peterson should.
God, what he's done with the Jags is pretty amazing.
They're in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's pretty
I know.
amazing.
With a team that was awful last year. But so are the Giants. But
Mhm.
let's be fair. The same thing. So are the Giants.
Yeah, in a difficult division.
Yeah. So yes, the answer is yes. I think he should win it. I wonder if you can. I wonder when the voting's like when you have to vote by, because
Yeah, it's a good question.
if Jacksonville were to win another game or two, and the Giants were to lose this week, which
Ooh, that can
they
change
probably
things.
then it would maybe change. But yeah, Sirianni too in Philadelphia.
He's a favorite actually at plus 125.
Who is?
Sirianni.
Yeah.
And then
Really?
Shanahan at 200 and Dable at 350.
Well, we just lost a bunch of money.
I don't.
I would have given it to Dable.
Yeah.
I wonder when they're able to vote actually,
Huh.
because I think it could still change because a lot of those guys seem awfully close.
Yeah.
Where's
absolutely.
Peterson?
And the Peterson is fourth at 1,000 plus 1,000.
Where's McCarthy? Not on the list.
No.
All right, go ahead. Next one.
Last one, going to college here. Do you think Jim Harbaugh continually flirting with the NFL is going to hurt him when it comes to recruiting in the future?
Yeah, I think he probably already did a little this year. Not that it hurt their class, but if you don't think coaches are using that against him, you're thinking about going to Michigan?
Oh, wow. Their technique.
Like every year he's flirting with the NFL. He ain't going to be there 2 years. Yeah, I mean, so does it hurt him in the end with the recruits he gets? I don't know, but coaches are for sure using it against him. And if someone is on the fence or their NIL deals are super close to each other, possibly he doesn't go to Michigan because of that. If it's the relationship with Harbaugh. Because, yeah, he's almost twice in 2 years. And you think if Minnesota would have hired him last year, that's where he wanted to go.
Yeah.
He'd probably be there right now. If Carolina wanted to hire him this year, he'd probably be there right now. You know when he posts that, I'm Michigan through and through, I'm here to stay. That's
God.
only after there's been 3 weeks of speculation with you talking to teams being interviewed. If you're blue and through, why don't you freaking just say it
Yeah,
from the
stay there.
beginning? Say it as soon as the game's over. Because you know they're going to be talking about that.
Yeah.
All right.